Hey, morning guys. Welcome back to the Oldbarn Homestead. This is Gary coming to you here. And yesterday I made a live stream. I had a big job going on the table there, and this was the result of that 1/4 inch plate. I'm pretty happy with those cut edges. You know, they're pretty good. I mean, they're as good as any I've seen. I've seen other people's cuts, and maybe some are a little better, but it's not bad. So occasionally, and it just does it on thinner material, the torch height will get itself sort of messed up, the torch height control on the machine. It'll just rise up above, it'll just keep cutting and rise up above the material and leave a mess. So I'm going to try to cut that off with a grinder and get that cleaned up. So hopefully Eco Mouse is watching this, and maybe these panels are getting welded together. Maybe they're getting inserted in behind something else, and that exact edge there doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know about that, so we'll see what he has to say. So anyway, some other brackets and gussets and things that go with it, and then I had a customer bring that by and want some of those duplicated, and I can't find the exact artwork anywhere, so I'm probably gonna see if I can trace it, which is kind of works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. The one thing I was gonna tell you guys about, or give you an update on, is I'll flip the camera around so you can see me here, is I was gonna do these channel or Oldbarn Homestead updates on live stream, but as you guys, some of you know, my internet inside the building, you know, is kind of suspect in some areas, and it won't hold the live stream. It works fine from my phone. I can take phone calls anywhere in the building. I can get, you know, emails or text messages or whatever. That all works good, but the 4G data, you know, availability is pretty spotty. So it's really windy and cold this morning outside, so I just decided to make this the old school way, which is a little bit more effort, but you know, honestly, live stream is just it's fun because, you know, you're live with a few people, whoever's available at that time, and then everybody else can watch pretty much the same kind of update that I would normally give the old way, which is the way I'm doing it this morning because it's, like I said, windy outside. I was going to give a quick air compressor update here. So anyway, like I said, the one tech got fired. They sent another tech out. He re-diagnosed it as the, can't remember what it was now. One of two things, and he ordered both of those parts, either the inlet valve or solenoid. So, and that has been 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago. Monday will be 2 weeks on that. And so I called him yesterday, and I gave this update in the live stream on the other channel yesterday, so some of you may have heard it. Anyway, trying to just hold this camera still here so you guys can hopefully see me there. Anyway, so I called yesterday and they were like, "Oh, we ordered some parts and let me check the status of that for you." And so they're, you know, looking it up. Looks like the parts have been picked but haven't shipped yet, and they're coming ground because, you know, we only do ground for warranty claims. You know, that's our policy, which just really doesn't make sense. You know, you'd think any company buying an $8,000 air compressor, if it goes down, it's likely used in some kind of production environment, and they would need it fixed quickly. So you would think that when they build the cost structure and the warranty model for it, that they would include, you know, part stocking locally for common parts and expedited shipping for anything that has to be overnighted. So anyway, I asked her to have her manager call me, and he did. And so I said, "Look, you know, given what's happened here, I think you can justify overnighting those parts." And he goes, "Okay, well, yeah, you're right about that, and you know, let me call and check on it." And so he calls back and says, "Well, they've already been picked but not shipped. I can't cancel the order, so they're going to come on ground. But as soon as they get here, I'll get a tech out there. And then he starts telling me how short they are and how backlogged they are and how they might not be able to get a tech immediately. It's just like one excuse after the other. These guys, I'm not trying to attack them personally because I don't think it's an individual issue with the people working there. It's a Quincy, because it's been systemic with no matter who I've dealt with there. It's just been one runaround after the next, one excuse after the next. They're understaffed. And when you have it like that, you can't blame the individuals that work there. It is inherent in the company they work for. And I've worked for companies like that where, in fact, I spent the last 10 years in my corporate job where the organization that I managed was understaffed all the time. We never had enough people to do what we were asked to do, and we were always delayed in doing things when our best people were on it or when our mediocre people were on it. And it was a systemic issue with the company and the structure of the way they financed it and all that. So I'm really sympathetic to the individuals that work in an organization like that. But I don't know. I'm thinking about once they get it up and running, put that thing for sale and do something different there. And not wait, and you could say, well, maybe once I get past this issue, maybe it'll run great for the rest of its life. The signs are that it's not going to be that way. And it's like, a limit of a car. I mean, sometimes, you can get certain model cars that are just crap and it'll nickel and dime you to death for its entire life. I mean, every 3 months it's broken down for something. So anyway, it's Friday here, and you guys can see I had to, this is what it's like when you're painting and trying to do work in the same place. Roll the plastic back so I could get my sheet metal or metal on and off, and my gantry crane over for the big sheet. And I got a big mess on that table there because that's my staging area for coming in and out, working on the paint booth with various, I'm doing electrical on it right now. So anyway, I'm so ready to get that paint booth done, but I have to work and make a living too and do these jobs that come in, to pay the bills and all that. And so I end up, some days just working on it for an hour, but it's the same, it's the same stuff you guys do. It's, you got your day jobs and you come home and, you have a limited amount of time. And, but the one thing about working in the shop all day and doing this kind of stuff, it's when you get to the end of the day, 5, 6, 7 o'clock or whatever, you're kind of just, the one thing about doing a day job that's different from your hobby is you look forward to it because you've been, doing whatever you've been doing all day. And now you get to get home and doing something different. But for me, it's just kind of more of the same, even though the paint booth is a little different, doing electrical work on it right now, like I said. So, anyway, guys, let me get this job finished up here this morning and get this stuff, figure out how I'm going to ship it. It's probably going to ship in at least 2 boxes, if not maybe 3. And also, I was going to let you know, and I'll talk about this in the video tomorrow and go over it a little bit, maybe sketch up something and have it for you to see. But that job I was mentioning to you about where they sort of didn't seem too interested in paying for engineering time. Once I gave them the proposal and laid it out, they called me and awarded it to me. So I've got the current version of what they're using now that's got to be re-engineered and refabricated. And I can't show it. I can probably show the fabrication of the individual parts as I'm making those, but I'm not going to be able to show it as a complete assembly because they've made me sign a non-disclosure agreement. And but I think it would be a really cool one to show. I think it would be pretty interesting. So anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go and get to work out here this morning, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care, guys. See you.